Hey guys, welcome back to The Crazy Crafter. What do you say we take a stroll down memory lane? So, I've recently moved my studio out to the garage and have been filming my crafting videos out there. And in that process, I've been going through some boxes. And a while back, I went through one box that used to belong to my father, and it's a collection of stuff from when he passed away, and in it was this old Y-Wing model we had built together back when I was 8 years old. This is one of the first models I'd ever built. Instead of letting it continue to collect dust, I decided to breathe some new life into it, which was going to be a total blast because look at all this cool detail. But first, if I'm going to build a diorama, I need to do a little research. What planet am I going to crash on? And I wanted to get some more inspiration. So, of course, I hit the Googles up and began my search. I'd never attempted lava terrain before, so Mustafar was a pretty easy choice for me. I also looked up a few images of Y-Wing crashes to get some more inspiration for the build. As I began work, I contemplated washing and cleaning the model up, but, the dust and dirt didn't bother me since this was going to be a crashed diorama anyway. So I got to work, painting in some detail on all these lovely pipes and components on the Y-Wing. Already I'm really digging how this copper is making this model pop with a lot of color. Next up was I had to paint the fuselage, give it a little bit of a two-tone. I'd recently purchased this Citadel bone color, so I kind of wanted to try that out. I didn't want anything too bright looking, and I thought the bone color might be a neat contrast, so I threw it on there. Oh yeah, that bone color is turning out nice. So I hit the rest of the Y-Wing up with a few more details. Wanted to pop it with some more color, so I put some old gold on there and some silver. And really, really happy and excited how this old model is starting to transform. This thing is looking sweet. Now it's time to add a wash. Decided to go with a flesh-colored wash here to give it that nice rusted weather look. I ended up watering that down and going with a little bit more toned down weathered look on the fuselage, and I ended up really liking that. Threw one more wash on the Y-Wing, a gray one from Citadel, and this thing is looking sweet. So now, time to cut up some foam. So here's where my eyes got really big and really excited for the build. I cut a really large piece of foam for the base of the diorama. Then I cut up some smaller pieces of foam that I was going to use as rocks to scatter on top of the base. So for the texture on these rocks, I wanted to try and create an obsidian look. Like Mustafar is an entire lava planet, so I wanted to make it appear that there were recesses where lava had either carved through or was running through the rock. And what's life without a little excitement? Time to bust out the butane blowtorch. Wanted to try and see if I could create a little bit more of that smooth obsidian rock look that I feel would be all over a planet like Mustafar. And pretty thrilled and excited how this turned out. Please, please be careful if you decide to use this method. When I started putting everything together, I realized that the base I had laid down was going to be too big, and I opted to just make the build smaller and go with just the rocks that I had created and put the Y-Wing on top of that. This, of course, led me to another crazy idea. Man, I hope I don't regret this. I might mess this up bad. Fortune favors the bold. Here we go. You can't crash on a lava planet and not bust off a wing. So I busted out the drummer tool and prayed that I did not destroy the model from my childhood.
It's working! It's working!
I know. Out of all the Star Wars movies, I choose episode 1 to quote. What are you going to do?
Alright. Oh yeah, kind of all jacked up. Oh, look at that. Don't even mind that that's all jacked.
Great, kid. Don't get cocky.
Whoops. Alright. So, I boo-booed. I took the acetone and was trying to pour it into the cap, but then I was trying to pour it into the cap while I was filming and setting up the shot like a goober. So now the build that I've been working on all night, I have poured acetone down here into this crazy recessed part, and it's still wet in here. It's like this weird webbing. Ugh. It's kind of gross. Anyway, you see down there, I totally screwed the pooch on that. I mean, it's totally not the end of the world for this build, but I was so excited for the Dremel tool solve and cutting the Y-Wing's wing off, and I rushed this. Whoops. Maybe I can salvage this. Let me see.
Next up, I traced the outline of where the Y-Wing would rest on the top rock, and I wanted to create a little lava river so it could lay just on top of or in the lava river. So I busted out the acetone again, and this time made sure I kept it in the capsule and poured it before I started filming. That way I didn't further destroy this build. Live and learn, right? After I had painted the roughed up edges from where the wing broke apart from the fuselage, I discovered some excess plastic on the mat from the Dremel tool when I had broken the wing off, and I got super excited. This ended up being one of my favorite parts of this build. I was able to find a couple more spare pieces of scrap plastic and super glue them on the fuselage, and it looked great. Next up was a Mod Podge base coat, followed by a very light dry brushing of gray and a very light dry brushing of white. A little bit of yellow, a little bit of red, and boom, liquid hot magma. When I was painting the magma up, I realized I could take my mistake from earlier and turn it into a brilliant success by also making that area full of liquid hot magma. After I threw this wash down, it really took away the vibrance of the magma, and I kind of lost that vibrant pop on the diorama. So I slept on it and decided to tackle it again the next day and try to bring some of that vibrance back. My son for the win here, he let me borrow this orange paint in his art kit, and it worked great on the diorama. The crafting force is strong with this youngling. Shout out to my buddy Chris Fort over at Might and Magic brand. He's an amazing mini painter and also fellow crafter, and he was the one who recommended the vibrant orange with going back with the yellow highlight, and it made the lava pop again, and I was super happy. Not only was I able to pick my buddy's brain about magma and lava, I also grabbed some of his cork and crumpled it up finely and super glued it along the side of the fuselage to create a rock rubble look that the Y-Wing created when it crashed. Okay, so I can't help myself here. There are so many cool things that I want to detail on this model, but so little time. I do use a dark dry brush to darken and dampen and dirty up the fuselage just a little bit more. Used a black wash to color the rock or cork on the side of the fuselage here. Tried to use a dry brush technique on the cork, but that failed miserably because I didn't use any watered down PVA to help secure it all together. So I ended up just painting the gray right onto the cork, and that worked out great.
So here it is, the Y-Wing diorama, all complete. It's been an absolute joy putting this build together for you guys this week. I had a blast going down memory lane, revisiting something that I got to build with my dad, breathe new life into it. It's been a blast, always a learning experience, and I'm looking forward to many more. So cheers, thanks for tuning in. If you liked the video, please smash that subscribe button, turn on the bell notification, give this video a like, and let me know down in the comments what you're working on. Have you brought any old models to life that you've recently found in the garage? Let me know. I'm curious what you all are building and working on. And don't forget to tune into our live streams every Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. See you next week, guys.